Hey y'all, this is Lauren Akins and welcome to Season 3 of the Live and Love podcast. I'm so happy to be back. This season on the podcast, we're sharing conversations all about parenting. I'm a mom of 4 girls and parenting is just the main focus in my world right now. So we're taking time to sit down with fellow parents, parenting experts, and my special village of family and friends that help me raise my girls to talk about what it looks like to live in love while parenting.
And I'm Annie F. Downs. I'm really excited to be here alongside Lauren for this 3rd season of Live and Love. Make sure you subscribe, and if you get a chance to rate and review the show, that will help us so much and help it get in front of the eyes of other parents who may find a lot of joy and hope in these episodes. And make sure you grab a copy of Lauren's bestseller, Live and Love. It is such a good book. And today, Lauren, is an extra special episode. Happy Father's Day to Thomas Rhett and all the dads around us. So tell us a little bit, why is it important to you to have Thomas Rhett on today?
Well, he is the other half of me
Certainly.
in parenting. So we felt like we should give him a mic.
I agree with this.
I'm so excited.
First, let's hear a clip. I'm so excited about this. Let's hear a clip from the girls about what it's like to be Thomas Rhett's daughter. Well, Gray, what's your favorite thing about your dad?
I don't know.
You don't know? Is it
Hello.
you color with your dad? Yeah? What's your favorite thing to do with your dad at the farm?
Go fishing.
Oh, he takes you fishing? Are you good at catching fish? You are.
I think they have a shark in Nemo.
Oh, yeah, there is a shark in Nemo. You're right. That's a good memory. Well done, you. Ada James, what do you think is fun about your dad?
That he loves me
Yeah? How do you know?
because he told me at night.
Yeah. Every night when you're going to bed, he tells you? Yeah. Do you think your dad loves you, Willie Gray?
He always tells us.
A lot.
So does Mommy.
Oh, yeah, they do. They both tell you a lot?
Mm-hmm.
And you believe them? Mm-hmm. Good.
Every single night.
Every single night. That is so special. Do you think your dad's funny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think your dad's funny, Willie Gray?
Yes.
Yes.
He's funny because he throws us on the beanbag.
What? Like throws you high up in the air and then you land on the beanbag. Does it make you laugh every time? That's so good. What does your dad do for his job?
Write songs and sing songs.
Yeah. Have you gotten to see him sing a lot?
Sometimes on TV.
On TV? Well, Gray, what is it like when you see your dad on TV?
Well, we only see him on TV and award shows.
Oh, yeah, when he's up there winning things. Yeah, that's right. Lennon, have you seen your dad on TV? Yes. Nodding. What do you love about your dad?
Color.
Everyone colors with you? Is that your life? You color all the time?
Hey, so before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share about another podcast that I think you'll love. As most of you know, the Live and Love podcast is part of the That Sounds Fun network, and I have loved being a part of this community of podcasters. And I'm so excited to share about another show on the network called The Best of You with Dr. Allison Cook. So in her podcast, you'll listen alongside psychologist and author Dr. Allison Cook as she guides you through some of your toughest challenges with wisdom, humor, and grace. Together with her friends and experts, she unpacks the best psychology from a faith-based perspective. You'll discover how to break free from painful patterns, mend your past, and discover what brings the best out of you. Episodes release every Thursday, and some topics include psychology buzzwords, boundaries in the Bible, 3 ways to detox your heart, soul, and mind, boundaries for your soul, and Dr. Allison's favorite psychology tools where she looks into different personality tests and strength finders. For more information and to get to know Allison, you can follow along on Instagram at Dr. Allison Cook. That's at DrAlisonCook.
Happy Father's Day, Thomas Rhett.
Are we pretending like today is Father's
We're
Day?
pretending like it. Let's just pretend.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It is Father's Day week. Lauren, we are celebrating that here on Live and Love this whole season. So we've talked to one other dad, but this is the only one you're parenting with.
That's right.
And the only dad-centric show. Lauren, tell me, before y'all got married, like when y'all were dating and getting engaged, did you ever think about Thomas Rhett as a dad? Was that like part of what you were thinking through?
You mean like when I knew I was going to marry him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought about him being a dad because I feel like inevitably you get married and you start thinking like, wow, what is life going to be like? And then my brain went to, wow, what is it going to be like having kids with you?
That sounded so confident.
With you, of all people.
Well, I feel like our relationship, not up until kids, we're still this way, but I feel like we're so playful and carefree and everything was a joke. Not everything. We had serious moments, but our relationship is very friendship oriented and we just have so much fun together. So it always made me excited because kids love all of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still sometimes though kind of can't believe that we've been married 10 years and we have 4 kids.
Yeah.
That's still
Me
weird
either.
to me. I don't feel like we should be that far into life.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are.
Here we are. We're rocking it.
Tiara, did you think about Lauren as a mom?
Yeah, probably more so than she thought of me as a dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think just like growing up around their family so much, like from 6th grade, getting to see her family dynamic and getting to watch how playful her mom was and how sweet her mom was, I was just like, that has already been passed down and it's just going to get more and more as she gets older. And I mean, yeah, when we got married, I was like, she's going to be the greatest mom ever.
Did y'all have a number of how many kids you wanted? Did y'all do that? We're going to have...
I think in my head, it was always 2. And in her head, it was always 5. And so we
wow.
settled on 5. So
Settled on 5.
well, we're not pregnant, if that's what you're
I'm
asking.
like, what are you
But I know
asking?
ever since like the day that we said we were going to get married, or even just when we were dating, she was like, she always wanted 5 kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, but looking back at it, I don't think I would have been good with just 2.
Why?
I don't know. I really thrive in like unorganized
Yeah.
places, maybe because I am unorganized. And I fit in with my kids and that unorganization. And it's kind of like, we've talked about it several times, but I remember after Ada James was born, because we didn't have twins, but it felt like we had twins because Willa Gray came home in May and then Ada James was born in August of 2017.
Good, honey.
Right?
Look at
I
you.
got to tell you a story later about my kids' birthdays. It's the most embarrassing thing of my
I got
life.
one too,
Okay.
so
Okay. I'll write it down.
you're in good company.
But I think that was such a, because people always talk about like going from 1 to 2 kids is like a huge jump. And then 2 to 3 is like nothing. Like you talk to these parents who are just like, yeah, you go from 2 to 3 is like not a big deal. 3 to 4 is even less of a big deal. And I kind of believed that. And they could not be more wrong. I'm just going to say that to all the parents
tell
listening
them.
to this. It's just not correct. Any new body you add to your house adds to the chaos of what you are living in. And I think after Ada James was born, I think at that time of my life, it was like when my career was like really starting to ramp and really starting to peak. So I felt like my world had been sort of flipped upside down in a way. Being on the road as much as I was back in 2017, I was still in the go get it phase, like grind, say yes to everything. And then you add 2 kids in that mix. It's like you're getting rid of a lot of, not getting rid of, you're losing some freedom that you have had now since 2012, since we got married. And now your day-to-day life are those 2 children, plus you're still trying to go get it as well. So I would say for those 2 years, when Willa Gray first came home, Ada James was born, and even like right before Lennon was born, I had to do a lot of soul searching during those years of just like, being on the road and making sure I'm checking in enough at home, and then they would come out on the road, and that's like a whole nother set of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I sleeping enough? Is my voice okay? Oh my gosh, they're awake already. It's 4:30 in the morning. Like, we just jumped right into all of this. I don't remember what the original question was, to be honest with you.
Keep going.
Oh, 2 kids.
Yeah.
But then after Lennon was born, after every one of our kids is born, I look at them, I'm like, I cannot physically imagine life without Lennon and without Lily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think you can make a conscious decision of like, okay, 2, we're done. And then you'll never know what it was like to have 3 kids or to have 4 kids. And so now, as a 33-year-old and a lot more Holy Spirit and Jesus in my life than I probably had back in 2016, I feel like, I mean, I love it. Like, do I want a 5th child right now? I don't think so, because I think we're just now in that phase. Like we talked about it yesterday of like, man, we're like 4 months away, I feel like, of just being able to do again. And we haven't been able to like go and do what we wanted to do for the last few years because we've always had a new infant in our lives, you know? So, but I have a feeling that 5 is going to be
pending.
Pending.
Number 5 is pending.
Yeah, for sure. If I had a crystal ball, I would imagine there's going to be a day in the kitchen where Lauren's like, you want to try again? Or you want to adopt again? And be like, sure.
Yeah.
You know?
In one of the previous episodes, Lauren talked a little bit about her postpartum depression after Lily. Can you talk a little bit?
You did? I'm just kidding. Sorry. That's not a place to joke. Sorry.
Listen, I didn't think it was going to come out. I told Annie after she was like, wow, I'm really glad that you said that. And I was like, I didn't want to, but I felt like, you know, when you feel like you don't want to say something, it's usually probably when you need to say something.
Sure.
So it came out. It all came out.
There you go.
Will you talk a little bit about the dad experience of seasons like that?
Yeah. It was with Lennon too, wasn't it? Mm-mm. It wasn't. It was just. What about AJ?
That was just COVID.
What about AJ? Mm-mm. It wasn't. It was only with Lily.
I mean, okay. After Ada James, our marriage had a falling apart.
For sure.
After Lennon, the world had a falling apart.
Correct.
After Lily, I had a falling apart.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, Lauren. Have you defined like that before?
No. I've never defined it like that. It kind of just came out when you were saying, did that happen with the other ones? And I'm like, no, but significant things did happen with the other.
Maybe that's why
births.
I was referring to it that way. Of like, it didn't happen because there was something that happened
With all of them.
after every kid.
Yeah.
But yes, like, I mean, after Lily, I do remember it was scary for me. And there's not many people you can talk to about that, you know, because you don't want it to sound like you're gossiping behind your wife's back. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you want to call like a buddy and be like, hey, my wife's acting super strange. Or like, hey, have you noticed anything in me that I have been doing that you would be mad at? Therefore, I can maybe go in and check myself and fix what any of my friend groups are maybe seeing dynamic-wise in my life that I could be causing her to be so upset or, I mean, depressed or just lifeless is not the right word, but along the lines of just like dull. You know what I'm saying?
She said Thomas Rhett knew I was in there and kept helping me get out. Yeah.
It felt like a hopeless place for me. And I think before I realized that she was actually experiencing chemical imbalances in her system. Yeah. I was sitting there like, man, I mean, what in the? I mean, I'm getting up early. We're talking at night. Like I'm praying about this. Like I've talked to a couple buddies, and they're just like, man, it could just be postpartum depression. And since she had never dealt with that before, I didn't really know what to do with it. You know. But yeah, it was amazing when she came out of it, the different human being that she was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There was just this this loneliness about her, and she's not lonely. You know what I mean? And there was this unpeace about her, and she's a peaceful person. And so it was like every attribute about her was the complete 180 of herself, and I'd never experienced that before. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that you think you're going to experience 8-9 years into marriage.
Right. 4 kids in.
Yeah, you kind of go, are we falling apart? Like, legit, what's happening? You know? Yeah. And so finally, you know, it takes me asking Lauren to go to the doctor at least 6 times before she actually thinks that she needs help with anything.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
And then I think you finally, I don't know if you went to see your doctor or what, I think we went to counseling a couple times about it, and I want to say our counselor kind of helped coach Lauren a little bit through that and me through that too. Because I genuinely did not know like what was happening. I'd heard about it postpartum depression before, but I'd never seen it in her because she's always been so strong and so on it and so all of the things, and she just wasn't. You know what I mean? So it was a weird time for sure.
Yeah. It was. I do feel like counseling was one way that kind of helped, like, confirm it. Because I think in the back of my mind, I was like, this is not normal. Like, I've experienced birthing children before and I've not felt this. So I know this is something, but as I like explained kind of what I was feeling with other friends, a couple of my friends were like, I think you might be depressed. And like every friend that you have that conversation with, they're like, I feel like I need to tell you that if no one else has told you, I think you might be depressed. And they're kind of like hoping that you receive it well in the state of mind that you're in. But like, I feel like we have talked about this so many times already in this season, but having that community that you know and trust is crucial because then you know that they are coming from such a place of truth and loving you. You don't get offended by very much because you know it's coming from a place of love. But yeah, we had a lot of people walk through that with us. And I'm grateful for all of those people.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay, so I'd like to take a quick break from this episode because I'm so excited to be partnering with Wild Grain for this season of the Live and Love podcast. So if you've got family and friends coming over for dinner, then you're already anticipating that, oh my gosh, do I have enough food feeling? And it's not fun, but there's no need for it. Get Wild Grain and you'll always have crowd-pleasing bread, rolls, pastries, pastas, and even more in your freezer. Unlike typical supermarket bread, Wild Grain uses slow fermentation process that's easier on your belly, lower in sugar, and rich in nutrients and antioxidants. Every item bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. I did it this morning and my kids love it. You'll never run the risk of getting bored with Wild Grain. They're constantly adding new seasonal and limited time special items to try. Plus, for every new member, Wild Grain donates 6 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank, so you can eat good and do good all at the same time. All you got to do is sign up at wildgrain.com/liveandlove and choose which type of box you want to receive and how often. It's easy to reschedule, skip, or cancel. Plus, for a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/liveandlove to start your subscription. You heard me right. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/liveandlove. That's wildgrain.com/liveandlove, or you can use promo code liveandlove at checkout. And before we continue this conversation with Thomas Rhett, I want to share again about our amazing sponsor, Crew, an organization dedicated to making the Bible accessible to families around the world. It's so hard to imagine that so many people don't have access to the Bible like we do, but that's the reality in so many places. And thankfully, Crew is changing that. Crew has missionaries in nearly every country on earth, witnessing countless individuals discovering Jesus. However, there's one crucial thing missing: Bibles in their own language. Throughout the past 2 seasons of our podcast, I have been so amazed by our listeners' incredible generosity as Crew donors. Together, we are making a difference in helping meet this need. But as one missionary shared, we have witnessed countless individuals engrossed in reading their Bibles. Please keep us in your prayers as we continue to seek more Bibles for distribution. Y'all, let's meet that need together. So for just $21 a month, you can provide 3 individuals with Bibles each and every month. And as a special thank you, when you sign up to provide 3 Bibles with a monthly gift of $21, Crew will also provide meals to 15 hungry individuals through their humanitarian aid ministry. That's not all. You'll also receive a complimentary copy of my book, Live and Love. So it's a win-win. Simply text Akins to 71326 to help today. Imagine just how much this gift could change someone's life. So text Akins to 71326. That's AKINS to 71326 to help now, or visit give.crew.org/Akins. Message and data rates may apply. Available to U.S. addresses only.
All daughters so far. First 4.
Yeah.
Did you ever dream of that? Did you ever think, Or did you always think fishing, hunting, dudes?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like every time I get interviewed, that's always probably the starter question of like, are you sad that you don't have a boy? Wow. Are y'all going to keep trying until you have a boy? All those kind of things. And I think maybe early on, like after Willa Gray came home and then Ada James came, I was like, surely the next one is gonna be a boy. And then it just kept being girls. There's a few people in my life that have had all girls that like I'm not like super close with, but know well enough to like call and like, what's it like, having 3 or 4 girls or whatever. And on the other side of it now, if God ever decided to give us a boy, I would love it.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, I mean, I'm like good to go. Like I love my girls so much, like more than I ever thought that I could love a child.
Yeah.
I love my girls, and they love me.
Yes.
And they're all so they're all so different. I mean, like you just watched this podcast. Willa Gray is super shy. Lennon is me to a T.
Really?
Oh yeah, just. Always willing to say that one thing that gets the room laughing, or like is never wants to really, be like everybody else. She just marches to the beat of her own drum.
Yeah.
And then I think AJ is like a really good blend between Willa Gray and Lennon. And I think Lily is going to be a lot like Ada James. But it's just amazing how unique their personalities are. The one thing I didn't realize, I just thought there was like a guidebook to parenting, and it's just like, doesn't matter how many kids you have, you just do the same thing with all of them. You love them equally. You do all these things. You do all this stuff, and it's just I just don't know that that's true.
Yeah,
I do think that every single kid requires what?
You do love them all equally, though, right?
No, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I was just confirming that you do.
You can love them the same amount, but love them in different ways.
But I love them all differently.
Yeah,
like each receive my affection differently.
Yeah.
Like Ada James loves for me to love on her.
Yeah.
Loves for me to tuck her in and hold her. She'll kiss my cheek before we go to bed. Lennon, I'm just like, I love you at night, and she'll go, Okay, I love you. Willa Gray is like a little bit more standoffish, like, I mean, even just recently when I've been dropping her off at school, I used to let her just get her backpack, get out my front door and walk in, and I'd wave. But now I make it a point to get out of the car, put her backpack on her, and squeeze her in front of all of her friends, and it kills her. Kills her inside.
But she won't say anything about it.
She's
so sweet.
But like I'll scream out the window,
her body.
I love you, Willa Gray! like my dad used to do that to us, and I just thought it was the worst thing on the planet.
But then when we ask them what they think about you, they say he tells us he loves us all the time.
Overly.
Yeah.
Overly.
That's
maybe
cool
I just
that's what they think too.
Yeah, maybe I just want to hear it back too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Lily, I mean, she's just starting to get her little personality, but she's a handful, and she's a firecracker, and she's so funny. Like even at how old is she? 17 months? 18 months. Yeah, they're just all so different. So yes, I love all my kids equally, but I do. We all have our little things with each other.
Yeah.
And I think before I became a parent, I thought that it was just all sort of the same, and it's definitely not. So,
is there any truth to work-life balance? Is that a thing? Can you actually balance the two things, or is it always a juggle?
I think it's always a juggle, and I think that regardless of if you have a good balance, you're always upsetting either one side or the other. You know what I mean? Because like, I've kind of been in this mindset of like, hey, when I'm dadding, leave me alone. But when I get left alone, I feel like something is wrong. Therefore, I feel the need to kind of check in. Like, hey, what's happening here? What's happening here? But then when I don't get left alone, I'm just like, I just need to dad. And so it's like, I think I've struggled with that my whole life of like, I want peace, but then when I get peace, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I do feel like ever since COVID, I have definitely drawn a little bit more of a boundary with my work and home life. And it's been an interesting conversation with my kids too, because I don't know, I guess when Willa Gray and AJ were old enough to really like know what I do for a living, I'd go tuck them in, and then the bus would be waiting out front of the house, and I'd be like, Daddy's going to get on the bus, and they both start bawling their eyes out. And they would be like, why do you have to go to work all the time? And for a while, my answer was, well, Daddy, I got to go make money this weekend. And I realized that that's not what I want them. That's not why I want them to know that you do have to work to live. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to provide for my family, but it's a privilege to provide for my family. But I started changing my narrative a little bit with them. It's like, why are you leaving again? Well, you know what? Daddy gets the opportunity to go put smiles on people's faces this weekend. Yeah. And it's like they take that better than Daddy's going to go make some money this weekend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I don't know if a work-life balance exists. I just think it's a constant making sure that you are in a healthy spot with both. Yeah. You know, because for a while, I remember Lauren said it really good one night. Two of our best friends, you know, they work. I call them real jobs.
Yeah.
Like where they actually get up and like go to an office and do the thing. I've never known what that's like. And you said it one night to Willa Gray. You were like, "Hey, you know, your friend's daddy. He doesn't see his kids at all during the day. He wakes up with them and feeds them breakfast, and then he gets to come home and tuck them in at night. And he is home on Saturdays. But when your daddy is home, your daddy is really home. Yeah. So you kind of are seeing your daddy as much as, someone who works a quote unquote 9 to 5. It's just different hours. It's like when I am gone, I really am physically not in this state anymore. Yeah. And so, but I also hope that I hope they grow up to know that I genuinely do love what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really like, yes, I mean, making money is awesome, but at the same time, that's not what makes me tick in the mornings.
That's right.
Like when I'm running around the house with my cell phone on my ear, it's not because I'm on the phone, it's because I'm listening to a demo, or it's because I'm like listening to a voice note that I recorded at 3 a.m. when I woke up and had a dream about a song. It's like, that's how in love I am with the craft of making things. And so, and I've already started to see that a little bit in my kids. Like parent-teacher conference, they were talking about how creative Willa Gray is, you know, and how creative Ada James is. And like, we'll come up with we did a little rap game in the kitchen the other day where it was like, I would say a line like, "I'm going to eat this chocolate bunny and I'm going to something and it ain't that funny." And then like have them try to keep rhyming with honey, whatever. And it's cool to watch their brains sort of like, I don't know if it's wired like mine or whatever, but it is interesting to watch them sort of grow into their own, whatever they're going to do.
Lauren, what do you love about TR as a dad?
Well, it's funny you said that because as I was just imagining you doing that with them, like that is truly one of my favorite things to watch, is for you to teach them the things that you're passionate about. Because, I mean, if you know Thomas Rhett, he's not going to pretend to be interested in something that he's not. And so
to a fault. Yeah.
So when it's something that he really does love, I mean, he is like all in, so passionate, 150%, like he just the passion behind what he loves and how he wants everyone to love it and everyone to experience it. And that's how he is with our girls. Like when they start asking him questions about songs, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm like walking around the house and can like one or two kids are here and I'm like, well, where is Will Gray and Lennon? And AJ's like, oh, Daddy's got them downstairs. And he's got like his little studio room downstairs, and he'll just take them. Or like if Lily is having a hard day, he'll grab her and he'll be like, I'm going to go take her down and we'll play some music and play on the microphone. And so they are growing up like loving the things that he loves. Even like, I mean, hunting, when he comes back from a hunt, he'll tell him, you know, what he was hunting and, you know, like for when you bring home a turkey and we eat a turkey, they love watching him, whatever the craft is, whether it's hunting or music or him fixing or putting together Willa Gray's bike. You know, he's so good at welcoming them alongside to be like, here's how I do this and here's what you can do, and let them be a part of the fun, and they just hang on every word that he says. And I do see them all, even if they're not talented deep down musically. They want to be.
Yeah.
Because they have so much fun doing it with him. And even if they don't actually have a desire to go hunt, maybe they want to because he makes it seem so fun, and they just want to be a part of what he's doing because whatever he is doing is going to be awesome. You know, and that in their mind, that's the way they see it. And I don't know, it's really special because a lot of those things I know nothing about, and it's cool that daddy-daughter dynamic is so special. And the older they get, it just makes me more excited to watch it unfold over the years. But it's really sweet right now, and they have so much fun.
My dad always would take us to Braves games with him. And I remember being like, he could take any of his friends, and he takes us.
Yeah.
And I imagine your girls feel that.
Yeah.
Like he's hanging out with us.
Right.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have to hang out with us. He can hang out with anybody. And so I think that's such a unique thing that some dads do really well.
Yeah.
And you're doing that really well.
Well, trying.
Yeah. That's it. That's all you can do, right? All you can do is show up every day.
That's right.
So that's what you do. What do you love about seeing Lauren be a mom?
I think over the last, I could say a million things, but over the last couple of years, the biggest thing that I have noticed is the amount of grace that she has with our kids. I'm gonna flaw myself really fast to show you the grace that she has. I think we've talked about this in our last podcast, but my patience level with certain things, being a dad, could use some work. You know, the fighting is something that I cannot handle.
When the girls fight with each other.
I cannot handle it. You know, even on days where like Lennon doesn't have school, she still wants to ride.
Yeah.
And that makes my bones curdle a little bit because when we have to sit in line for AJ for 20 minutes to drop her off after Willow Gray, you know, Lennon, it's just her and AJ just sit back there and bicker. You know what I'm saying? And like my parents did not let me and my dad did not let me and my sister bicker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My mom had way more grace with it and tried to make us react in kindness rather than be like, hey, cut that out. You know what I'm saying? And so I've seen a little bit of like both sides of my parents and me. And now Lauren is not afraid to be like, go to your room. She's not afraid to intervene and be like, we're not listening to the arguing anymore. But like, I would say over the last couple of years, like Lauren has really kind of gotten in the middle of certain situations that I just like tense up at. You know what I'm saying? And just reacts with such grace. I'm trying to think of like a specific example, but like dinner is always like a tough time in our house.
It's called the witching hour for a reason.
From 5 to 7:30.
Brutal in every
You know what
home.
I'm saying? Like I don't care who you are as a parent.
Yep.
You get a new energy. I could literally at noon be like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to go to bed at 7:30 tonight, 8:30 tonight. And then the moment the kids are down, if you're a parent listening to this in your car, just say amen after this statement. They're like, you get out of that bedroom and you're like, what are we doing? What are we watching? What show? You want a glass of wine? Like, let's go. It's like your freedom is back or something like that. But my wife, like, I'm pretty strict on bedtime. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that a good routine for a kid is good, and Lauren does too. But Lauren will sit there, you know, we'll finish a movie at 7:30. And she'll be like, oh, just let's watch. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like Lauren really knows how to enjoy the moments with our kids. And that's something that I have been working on so hard. Not that I don't enjoy the moments with my kids, but I'm a what's the next thing we got to do person. Hey, did you finish your food? Oh, you got one more chicken nugget to eat. Get in the bath. Get in the bath. Get in the bath. You know what I'm saying? And Lauren will sit there, you know, in the bath and dump all the daggum toys in the bathtub. I'm like, forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like
we're on a mission.
We're scrubbing hair. I know you can bathe yourself. I'm bathing you because I can do it a solid 3.5 minutes faster than you can. And so I think that Lauren has really grown into this, like, just like the mom that like our kid. I think our kids, they're going to be so close when they get old. And I think our kids are going to remember those moments with Lauren of just like, man, our mom was awesome. She was rad. She was cool. You know what I mean? She told us what we needed to do, but she was also like, not lax is not the right word, but just like ready for a hang and ready for a thing. And that's something that I'm trying to grow better into. I think it's okay to be task oriented, but like sometimes with your kids, it's just like, okay, I know bedtime's 7:30, but tonight it's 8. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the grace she has had in those moments where I normally am tense, she combats their bicker with kindness. Yeah. And I'm combating the bicker with stop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, gosh, she truly, I mean, I am biased, but she truly is like one of the best representations of a mother that I have ever seen with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Hey y'all, I'm going to take one last quick break to talk with you more about Hiya Health. So did y'all know that most children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar and can contribute to a variety of health issues? That's 2 teaspoons of sugar in vitamins, not to mention all the other chemicals and gummy stuff that kids should never eat. Hiya was created to fix that. Hiya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk, yet it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters. My girls love their vitamins. Formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and vegetables, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. Hiya is designed for kids of all ages and sent straight to your door so parents have one less thing to worry about. As a mom, it's such a good feeling to know that Hiya has thought of every detail to make the vitamin experience enjoyable and engaging for kids. It's more than just taking vitamins. It's about fostering a positive attitude toward health and wellness from an early age. Hiya really knows how to make it a fun and interactive experience for your little ones. In your very first shipment, along with the Hiya bottles filled with the high-quality vitamins, they include a cute surprise, a bunch of little stickers that my girls had a blast decorating their each individual Hiya bottles. We worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hiyahealth.com/liveinlove. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hiyahealth.com/liveinlove and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. So before we finish the episode, you've heard me talking a lot about my 4 girls, but I also have 2 amazing dogs, Kona and Cash, who help make up our cute little family. And I'm so excited that we were able to find a new podcast sponsor that's all about them. It's called Sundays for Dogs. Sundays is air-dried dog food made from a short list of human-grade ingredients and was co-founded by Dr. Tori, a practicing veterinarian. Sundays contains 90% meat, 10% vegetables, and 0% synthetic nutrients. Besides USDA beef and all-natural chicken, you'll find digestive aids like pumpkin and ginger, plus disease-fighting antioxidants. Your pup is going to love Sundays, and you'll feel so good knowing you're feeding your pup the best quality food. And unlike other fresh dog food, Sundays is 0 prep, 0 mess, and 0 stress. It's shelf stable so it lasts, and every order ships right to your door, so you'll never worry about running out of dog food again. And bonus, Sundays for Dogs cost 40% less than other healthy dog food brands because they don't waste money shipping frozen packages. Instead, they spend on what matters, sourcing the best all-natural ingredients for your dog. And we worked out a special deal for our dog-loving listeners. Get 35% off your first order of Sundays. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/liveinlove or use code LIVEINLOVE at checkout. That's sundaysfordogs.com/liveinlove. Upgrade your pup to Sundays and feel good about the food you're feeding your dog.
How do y'all stay connected with 4 kids? What's the rhythms? I won't even say what's the trick because there are no tricks. Yeah. What are some rhythms that to stay connected to each other? So, everybody talks about when the last kid graduates and you've had a roommate and all of a sudden, yeah, for sure. So I hear a lot of my peers talking about that of going like, we're doing right now whatever we can so that we aren't roommates in 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the rhythms y'all are doing?
Even if you didn't have 4 kids, I think 10 years into marriage, you get it's easy to get complacent with each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
but you add 4 kids and 10 years of marriage, you kind of go, when are we supposed to hang out? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And if we were to hang out, what will we say to each other that wasn't about our children? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've been on a couple of like little 2-day down to the beach, and I would say for the first like day that we're there, our conversation is like about our kids, and I think that's normal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like the first kind of chance you get to reflect on what you've done for the last 3 months. Now you have a couple days to kind of chill, but I think recently for me and Lauren, our small group, who I'm sure Lauren talks about a lot on this podcast, has been a huge encouragement for us both. Like, at the end of every Bible study, one of the guys in our group always sends out a text of what we're going to pray for each other about, all the things that we're struggling with in our marriage and our finances and our life. And he always ends it with, I'm praying that everyone can reconnect with their spouse this week. Wow. And I think for the longest time, Lauren and I have really never shared the same hobbies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mine has always been, music is not, it is my career path, but it's also like one of my favorite things in the world to create. And I think she might care less, you know? Mm-hmm. Or it's like hunting, or it's fishing, or it's whatever phase I'm in at that moment. You know, I think Lauren's excited in the beginning until it becomes an obsession for me, and then she's out, you know? And so I think since the beginning, you know, Lauren's dream since we've been married is to be horse people, you know? And I was just like, horses freak me out. I fell off one 2 years ago. That freaked me out. And then all of a sudden, you know, I was playing a show in Wyoming, and there was a place that said adopt a horse. And where do we go? Straight to adopt a horse. Yeah. A wild Mustang at that. Which, if you were to ask any horse expert on the planet, what should your horse first be? Or your first horse be? The last thing they would say would be a wild Mustang. Yeah. But if that's not my wife's personality, I don't know what is. And so, I mean, I wouldn't even get in the same stall as Daisy, our horse. And then since then, we've gotten a couple of other horses, and I have become really passionate about it. Yes, I do like it, but I love it because it's something that she loves. And so, like, now, if we do have a couple hours, she's like, let's go see the horses. And a year ago, I'd be like, go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm good. Like, I don't like them. They freak me out. They know that I'm nervous. They know that I'm anxious. They know that I don't trust them. Therefore, they don't trust me. But I will say that has been an incredible way for us to connect this past year, for sure.
Did you actually start liking them, or did you just start going to be together?
I mean, this is what I do. Like, anything that I get into it full force.
So once you own the Mustang, all in.
Oh,
horse guy.
Yeah, I've been I've been on the internet trying to find vintage chaps.
I love you.
We're going to go to Texas. I'm going to go to this place called Teskey's, and I'm going to get me a pair of vintage Spurs. I've gotten 3 cowboy hats in the last couple years.
Wow.
Like, okay. I'm in.
Yeah.
And then we work with a guy out in Burns, Tennessee, and me and her got to actually rope, or what do you call it?
We were back and forth. We were working
like
cows.
Working cattle.
Oh, working cattle, yeah.
Hey.
In.
Yeah.
Horse guy.
And I get to do it with her.
Horse guy.
And, like, I mean, sometimes I'm just like, this is, like, amazing. This is the first time that we have ever been involved in something hobby-wise that we both really enjoy and really want to invest and learn about it, and do it with, you know, each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
our girls.
And our girls love it. You know,
Yeah.
I can see it being something that our family gets to do for a long time. But on like a
forever.
Our family will be horse people forever.
Yeah.
She was there this morning.
I was.
She showed up to record the show.
I know.
Dressed like a horse girl.
Oh, yeah.
She was.
I did. I was hugging him. I was like, I'm so sorry. Do I smell like a horse?
Boots
Is anybody allergic to horses?
braid and the whole thing. She came in.
And I think when you watch your spouse really in their element, it's like, it's probably the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I've been watching it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that is the coolest thing in the world to watch him in his element?
It is, because I feel like that's where you really see like their spirit just like come to life.
Yeah.
And which is why it's such a, I don't want to say love-hate relationship with music, but it's just been such a roller coaster with just sorting through life with his career. But the one thing that I will never take for granted is getting to have a front row seat, literally, just to watch him be on stage and entertain people and sing and dance and play guitar. And but he's been doing that. I say I've been watching you do that for 10 years. I've actually been watching you do it for like
20.
Yeah. For 20 years. And so it's just it's so cool. And when you see someone like really living in what just makes their heart beat, it's like a dream. It's like watching a movie. It's like the thing that makes your heart beat, I truly believe, like just brings out so much life in you and people around you. And it's so life-giving to watch and be a part of. And so that's been so cool. And to watch our kids see that side of him has been really fun too. And Lily doesn't quite know just yet, but she does know that she likes to dance.
Yeah. I mean, the tour is about to show them.
That's right.
Yeah, they're about to see it.
But I do think for I keep referencing all the people listening to this podcast because I feel like if there is not something in your marriage that you can connect on, whether it's a hobby or just even something that your spouse loves to do that you could care less about, I'm not saying pretend to care, but maybe both of you go try something that you've never done before, but that be your thing that you do together. You know what I'm saying? It could be as simple as like, I mean, I love when I do actually wake up at 5:30 with her, we're reading Purpose Driven Life together right now, which is like the OG classic.
Yes.
And it's been amazing just to get to connect those 30 minutes before the kids wake up over a book that you're reading. I mean, something as simple as that. Like find something, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be your wife's favorite hobby or your husband's favorite hobby if you really don't care about it, but go find something that maybe you've never done or something you've always wanted to try and make that your joint hobby together. Because I do think that, especially if you both fall in love with it, you now have this like unique, like you're connected obviously because you're married and you're connected because you love each other and you're really good friends. But when you get to find something like that to connect over, it's you get to dream together all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I think that when couples forget to dream together, they're just kind of just coexisting with each other. Does that make sense?
And a hobby gives you a channel to dream about.
I think so.
That's
and
really
I think it's important to like encourage each other's dreams.
For sure.
Like, for instance, his dream is music and doing exactly what he's doing. And I could not care less about that dream for myself, but I love it for him because I know how much he loves it. And so like getting to be alongside him and watch him step into that dream and live that out has been really special. And then on the flip side, like he has really encouraged me in my dreaming, especially like with the work that we do in Uganda with Love One. And it's like he goes to do his dream, I go to do my dream, and we kind of trade off. Like, I know that you need this for your heart and to fill your cup, so you go do your thing. And sometimes it's him going on a hunting trip too with buddies, and like encouraging your spouse to like go take time for themselves as much as you want to do it together. That's great too, but it also is like good for each other to be like, hey, why don't you go do, like for my birthday last year, he's like, why don't you go to the beach with your girlfriends? Just you and your girlfriends go to the beach. I'll stay back with the kids. And I think it's really sweet when couples like encourage each other to go take care of themselves and do the things that they love to do. And even if that means, you know, you're not the one going on a vacation or doing something really, that's something that's not exhausting, something that feels really restful to your soul.
Yeah.
But I think that's also really important in a marriage too. And I think that took me a second to get to that point. You know, when he would go out to hunt and I was at home with the kids, it was not an argument, but a little bit of like, I tried to like not be bitter, but I was kind of bitter because I was tired and with kids at home, and we kind of came to this like, hey, listen, I think that we both need these things. And he would tell me to go do things, and I'd be like, no, I can't leave these kids here. And like, you go, and that way you can be full and I will be fine. You know, like I can do this kind of stiff arming. And I feel like it took me a couple of years to really swallow that pride and be like, hey, you actually can't do everything all the time. And you do have to take care of yourself before you can be a good wife, be a good mom. And I think that is huge, and something that I feel like maybe isn't as encouraged. Like you looking at your spouse and saying, hey, what are you going to take time for you to go do this month? Okay. And what are you going to take time for you to go do this month? I think it's good. And then obviously making the time together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Last question, TR. What do you want for Father's Day?
I don't know.
Chaps? Vintage Spurs?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think about the experience that I want for Father's Day.
Oh, an experience. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the older I get, like you always like talk to old people, and it's like, how old are you? Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like Lauren's dad, like, happy birthday. He's like, I don't care. It's my birthday. You know, I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like the simpler, the better. You know what I'm saying? I think the perfect Father's Day for me would honestly be going out to West Tennessee and being able to just to ride with Lauren and all of our girls. That would be like the best Father's Day. Maybe cook a steak, like, and some chaps.
Certainly.
Yeah, the chaps are a necessity for this Father's Day.
I just need someone's listening and they're like, I own a vintage chap store, and TR doesn't even know yet. Just reach out to us.
Yeah, reach out to us.
We will connect you with him,
right.
so you can so he can get him some vintage chaps.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that says a lot about you. That what you want the most is time with all your women, all your gals, and some horses. I didn't know you were making a horse guy announcement on this podcast today.
It makes my heart so happy.
Yeah.
It's like all of my dreams are just like morphing into one.
Yeah. It is so fun. Like sorry, we don't have to talk about horses anymore.
Keep going, go.
See, he's a horse guy. He can't help it. He's just got to talk about it.
But I think like hobbies for me that require so much of your attention are good for me. I'm not a very anxious person anymore, but the smidge of like angst or whatever it is, worry about the future or whatever it is, like when you are on a horse or when you are in a river or when you're in a duck, like it's just like it requires so much focus on the back of a horse that you look up and all of a sudden you've been there for 4 hours. You know what I mean? And it really did give your mind a break from whatever else is happening. Yeah. So it has been incredible, and I look forward to y'all see me at the PBR next year. So.
Oh, I want that to be true.
Yeah.
I want that to be true. A Bronco rider.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you've tamed a Mustang.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're in.
That's right.
Oh, I'm so thankful. I mean, I just love hearing TR's like thoughts and what being a dad means to him, and hearing y'all talk about it together. I think it's so fun.
It's so sweet. It is so much fun. And we have a lot of fun parenting together. We really do.
It seems so. Happy Father's Day, Thomas Rhett.
Happy Father's Day, honey. I hope you all will join us for our next episode of our Live and Love podcast. We are getting to sit down with Sissy Goff, who has been on a previous episode with us already this season. And we are sitting down with my girlfriend, Patoya, to talk about what it looks like to live in love while having hard conversations with your kids.